The desert of Ayrathis IV was a place where even metal groaned under the heat. The sun, a white-blue flame, scorched the endless dunes, and survival here was measured not in days but in hours. Ethan Ward, a human surveyor, trudged along the cracked salt plains with sweat sticking his shirt to his back. His canteen felt too light, each swallow a reminder that he was running out. He had been separated from his expedition team when a sandstorm rolled through, leaving him stranded with nothing but his pack and his stubborn will. He wasn't alone, though. Perched a few paces behind him was Tyara, an alien girl from Shirin species. Her tall frame shimmered faintly, as though her lavender skin reflected light from beneath. Two curved horns framed her head like a crown, and her eyes, pale and luminous, watched her with a mixture of pride and desperation. Beside her stumbled her companions, three quadrupedal creatures with fur that looked like silver reeds in the wind. They were her pets, Asteris Caldus, Rin, and Velu Star. Once strong and graceful, now their tongues lolled out, their steps faltering. "They will not last the night," Tyara whispered, her voice cracking. "They need water. More than I do. More than—" She didn't finish. Ethan glanced at his canteen. Barely a cup left. He had been saving it for himself, stretching out sips while his throat ached for relief. "You knew bringing them would be a risk," Ethan said, though there was no malice in his tone. He simply couldn't understand why she insisted on dragging animals through a desert that barely sustained people. "They are my heart," Tyara replied, her hands trembling as she touched Caltus's flank. "In my people's way, to abandon them is to abandon myself. A Shirin without her bonded companions is empty." Ethan looked at her. Dust streaked her cheeks, her usually flowing hair matted with grit. Yet she clutched her creatures as though they were children. He realized then that for her, they might as well be. He took the canteen off his belt, thumb brushing over the metal. Survival training screamed at him. Water is life. Without it, you're dead. Don't share unless you're certain of rescue. But when one of the creatures collapsed with a pitiful whimper, Ethan's decision came unbidden. He crouched down, opened the cap, and tilted the last of his water into his cupped hand. "Here, boy," he murmured. The creature licked eagerly, shivering as the droplets touched its cracked tongue. The other two pushed forward, and Ethan divided the meager offering as best he could. Not enough to revive them, but enough to buy them a little more time. Tyara's eyes widened, shimmering with unshed tears. "Why?" she asked softly. "Why give them what you need to live?" Ethan forced a crooked smile. "Because I'd rather see them live than watch them die in front of you. And because what's the point of surviving if you do it alone?" The alien girl pressed a trembling hand over her mouth. Her species was not known for weeping, but her body shook with the effort of holding it back. "You would sacrifice for those who are not even your kin," she whispered. "I guess I would," Ethan said, voice dry as the desert around them. They walked on through the night, guided by the pale shimmer of the desert moons. Ethan felt weaker with every step, his throat so parched it felt like it might split open. But when he glanced back and saw the pet still moving, stumbling but alive, he felt strangely lighter, as though he carried less than before. At dawn, the horizon broke with shimmer, a line of jagged cliffs, black stone cutting against the sands. Tyara gasped. "The caverns!" she exclaimed. "I know this place. There are underground springs here. My people come when the desert is cruellest." Ethan nearly collapsed from relief. His legs wobbled as they pushed onward, the cliffs looming closer with each breathless step. By the time they reached the mouth of the cavern, Ethan's vision blurred. He staggered, the world tilting, before strong hands caught him. "Stay with me," Tyara urged, lowering him gently to the stone floor. She cupped water from a shallow spring and brought it to his lips. "Cool!" Sweet liquid slipped down his throat, shocking his body back into life. "You saved them," she said, voice thick with emotion as her pets drank greedily nearby. "Now let me save you." Ethan blinked up at her. She looked different now. Not just an alien girl stranded with him, but something luminous, her devotion to her companion shining brighter than the desert sun. "Guess we're even," he rasped, managing a weak grin. Tyara shook her head. "No, I owe you more than life. In my people's law, A dead heart is eternal. Her pets patted close, resting their heads on Ethan's legs as though they, too, understood. They stayed in the caverns for days, recovering. Tyara showed him how to filter minerals from the spring water and gather edible fungi that glowed faintly blue. Her pets regained their strength, bounding playfully again, though they never strayed far from Ethan's side. One night, under the glow of bioluminescent moss, Tyara sat beside him. "Ethan," she said quietly, "I must tell you something. When we return to my people, they will know what you did. They will honor you, not just as my companion, but as one of us." "One of you?" Ethan chuckled. "Last I checked, I'm still human." "You gave up your life to protect what I love," she said. "That makes you Sheeran in spirit. And more than that," her eyes softened, "when a Sheeran bonds, it is for life. My pets chose you when they licked water from your hands. And my heart chose you when you gave it without hesitation." Ethan froze, caught between disbelief and the sincerity in her gaze. "You mean—" "Yes," she whispered, leaning closer. "You are not alone. Not anymore." Her pets curled around them like guardians, their silver for glowing faintly in the cavern light. For the first time since the storm, Ethan didn't feel lost. He felt found. When the rescue team finally located them, they were greeted not with despair, but with the sight of a human and an alien girl surrounded by creatures who adore them both. Ethan stood taller, stronger, though still weary. Tyara walked at his side, her hand brushing his as though it belonged there. And when they were asked how they survived, Tyara answered simply, "Because he gave his last water to save my heart."